Hello and welcome to another episode of the Afterschool Anime Club. My name's Maxwell and I'm one of your three co-hosts, chapter co-presidents even. And let me introduce you to the other ones. She is extra receptive to the spirit world. It's Stevie Matos.
Hello. I might be. I don't know. I think my nipples do get ESPN or something.
You never tested it?
No, never tested it.
Okay. Well, he has a nice egg to offer you in these trying times. It's Max Kostrak.
This is the second or third anime that's featured an egg joke.
Egg joke.
And
Yeah.
every time I clip it.
And last but not least, we've got another special guest with us today. She's the host on Unwise Girls and Dead Teen House Party, two other podcasts you might be familiar with on the Moonshot Network. It's Jacqueline Swampert.
Hello everyone. It's me, Jacqueline Swampert.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Welcome!
So on your podcast, you're more used to talking about like American young adult fiction, and we've brought you into the world of Japanese young adult fiction vis-a-vis anime.
It's true. I've never watched anime before, so I...
There's no way that's true. You have to.
It's
be
not
wrong.
true.
Okay.
Thank God. Future guest idea, Newland. If we can find someone on Earth who's never seen a single episode of anime. Well, let's save that for when we come back to Tenchi.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Maybe.
Depends on if we hate them or not. No.
That's. This is your punishment. Come watch Tenchi for the first time.
Go watch Tenchi.
Jacqueline, it's just so great to have you here. I'm so glad you could join us today. What is Unwise Girls about, and what is Dead Teen House Party about?
Well, when it comes to Unwise Girls, like you said, we do a coverage of an American children's media property, specifically the books of Rick Riordan, who people probably know from the Percy Jackson series, but we also cover all of his various mythology oeuvre.
Mm-hmm.
On Dead Teen House Party, we're a little bit less... It's less kids, more teens, as we take on the various slasher properties that feature, you know, we got your Scream MTV series, and more recently, soon, we're going to be releasing a trilogy of episodes on the Fear Street Netflix series.
I enjoyed that one quite a bit.
Those were really fun.
I'll be listening to those episodes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, not to get too into it, but I enjoyed how like raw that shit got. Like, there were kids getting killed in that movie. Like, it was good.
Definitely.
They did not shy away from kid death.
No.
Much like a TV show that we watched today.
Hey, yeah, we've got some kid death here.
Yo!
I didn't know I was going there, but I found it.
I did not watch that first. Hey, remember that time we go on to say things sometimes? We have to watch that car crash happen in slow motion and then Newland doesn't take it out.
I don't. I won't do it.
Kostrak's mad at me!
What?
I'm back and I'm worse than ever. I had a week off to rest and I couldn't talk. I couldn't actually talk for like multiple hours at a time. My tonsils swole so bad I thought I had strep.
So it's got to come out. You have to let it out and let the club, let the pod be the place where that happens, Stevie. Be yourself.
Essentially. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
This is a zero judgment zone, I promise.
I don't know about that.
We are recording
I trust
it.
You.
It's like Planet Fitness. That's a judgment-free zone.
Yes.
And when you think about it, we are getting very strong, but just specifically in anime.
Different kind of strong, but yes. And now, to test that strength, I have a special game for you, because this is our first time in a while that we're on a new TV show. And what I always like to do with a new TV show is prepare probably the most traditional game that Anime Club has.
Okay.
That's right, it's time for No Need for Trivia.
Woo, we're gonna learn.
I
We're gonna
fucking
learn
love
today.
it. I did not fucking study. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, straight up and down. I just pulled some stuff from trivia pages on YuYu Hakusho. Some stuff I had to go doing research for us. I hope you will find this interesting no matter what. And I'm going to return to the old tradition of calling on you.
Oh.
I'll call on you when it's your turn. If you get the answer wrong or you can't get it, then someone else can steal.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Okay.
Love it.
Sounds good.
Jacqueline, I'm going to put you in the hot seat because you're our special guest today. You're going to get question number 1.
You can do it. I have faith in you.
These are all multiple choice questions to make it easier.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. One of the 4 main characters of YuYu Hakusho, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, was originally planned to only be a one-off villain. Mangaka Yoshihiro Togashi was pressured to make him a main character by his editor. Which of the main 4 was this? Was it A. Urameshi, B. Kuwabara, C. Hiei, or D. Kurama?
So I don't know this, but I think I'm going to take the educated guess of it. It's probably Hiei.
Okay. Your answer is C. Hiei. That's correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Which one's Hiei?
We have not gotten to Hiei yet. He is the...
Okay.
In the opening sequence, he is the shirtless, very short man with the sword.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. That's what I thought.
We may not actually get to him in this season's collection of YuYu episodes, unfortunately.
Okay.
We'll get to that, but we are going to have some fun.
Excited.
He's a little goblin, and so I was like, this guy's energies had to be like, people loved him instantly, so he had to be there.
He's got big Vegeta energy. He's 100% like a Vegeta.
Okay.
Now, it's funny that you should mention that. Okay, so we're going to go to the next question. Speaking of Hiei, Stevie, this is for you.
Got it.
He turned out to be so popular that he inspired one of the main characters of another more recent shonen battle anime. And there's probably more than the ones I mentioned, but this is the one that I found. Can you tell me who it is? A. Trunks from Dragon Ball.
Okay.
B. Killua from Hunter x Hunter. C. Death the Kid from Soul Eater. Or D. Sasuke from Naruto.
You said recent specifically?
More recent than Yu Yu Hakusho.
Recent than Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, and Yu Yu Hakusho is old, so that actually doesn't help me at all. It does, but it doesn't, right? I'm gonna go with Hunter by Hunter because I don't know. So I'm gonna just shot in the dark, close my eyes and pull that trigger real quick. I have no idea. I've never seen Hunter by Hunter.
It seems right. Killua is very Hiei, but that is not the official inspiration.
That would be a wild inspiration pull, since it would be the same author.
Yeah, it's literally the same guy.
Because Yu Yu Hakusho is the spiritual, prequel to Hunter x Hunter.
Indeed. So that one was kind of in there as a special. Can one of you steal from Stevie?
Yeah,
I'll try and take the steal. Is it Sasuke?
You are correct. It's Sasuke.
What?
That's 2 points for Jacqueline Swampert.
And who is Sasuke based off of in this case?
Hiei.
Oh my god.
Can I say how I know this?
How do you know this,
Yes,
Jacqueline?
please.
It's because there's nothing that Kishimoto likes more than to steal from Togashi.
Damn.
Shots fired.
Shot fired.
Sasuke is like Hiei plus Kurapika from Hunter x Hunter, just like basically just taken wholesale.
Wow.
He really is very creepy. Oh my god, I never thought about it. Holy shit. Okay.
Wow.
Well, there we go. Okay, so Max, now it's your first question.
Ready.
The English dub of Yu Yu Hakusho shares most of its cast members across several other famous anime. Which anime on this list did not share most of Yu Yu Hakusho's cast? A. Dragon Ball Z. B. My Hero Academia. C. One Piece. Or D. Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay. I'm not going to give any hints to the other players because I'm taking a guess here. I've got a 50-50. It's got to be one of these. I'm gonna guess Full Metal Alchemist.
You're correct. It's Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh,
great eyebrow game there because I was
because I knew for a fact that because Chris Sabat is in this.
He is.
So
that's
we've
correct,
got
yeah.
DBZ, we've got My Hero, and I
don't
just
know
had
if this
to
will blow your
nail down
mind, but
One Piece.
Chris is in One Piece. He's Zoro.
Oh, right. I
Oh.
always forget that because I never watched the dub.
Yeah,
Man.
nobody ever watched the dub.
I was hoping you got this wrong because I knew it because I had just looked up yesterday who the voice actor was for Yusuke because
Yes.
he sounded like the same guy from Gundam Wing. I thought he was Duo Maxwell for a second, and then I just went on the rabbit hole of actors. So I knew this one.
It's Justin Cook, and I have more to say about Justin Cook as we go on.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, we're back to Jacqueline. This is number 4.
Okay.
While the North American dub did not Americanize the Japanese names of the characters in the show, the Filipino dub did, for whatever reason. Can you guess what they called Yusuke in the Filipino dub? And you have 4 choices here. A, Eustace. B, Eugene. C, Uriel.
Okay.
Or D, Johnny.
Okay, I heard Eugene and I really wanted that to be true, but I think before you even started listing things, my brain was like, I would call him Johnny. So I'm gonna guess Johnny.
Okay. It's a pretty good guess, but unfortunately it is not the name they picked in the Filipino dub. Does anybody want to steal?
I mean, I'll steal for the guess. Is it Yurio?
Oh, it's not Uriel.
Oh no.
Now, Max, you got a 50-50 shot here.
I've got the 50-50 shot, and I'm going to go with what I want it to be in my heart. Eugene Hakusho, my favorite anime.
It's correct.
Oh my god!
They call him Eugene.
I was like, maybe we'll go for Uriel because of like the way the Philippines
Sure.
colonized. I was like, maybe.
Eugene.
No,
Eugene.
Eugene. Damn.
Like the guy. Did you guys ever see that episode of 30 Rock where there's the guy whose name is Eugene and he's married to a lady named Eugene?
Yes.
They represent the Wool Council. Anyway.
It's very wool.
Bad mouth, foul mouth, Eugene Hakusho. Terrible kid.
My
Scary
favorite
sounds
anime character is Eugene.
Eugene Urameshi. That's his actual last name. Eugene Urameshi.
Did y'all know my name was nearly Eugene?
Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm so happy. Ooh, that would have been
Ooh.
Wait, say middle name and everything?
No, it would have been Thomas Eugene.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's better. That would have been better than Eugene Thomas. That would have hurt.
Okay, sure. Fine.
That would have hurt.
Speaking of hurt, you're up next, Stevie.
Damn it.
The studio that produced the anime for Yu Yu Hakusho, Pierrot, was not known for shonen fighting anime at the time that Yu Yu Hakusho came out. What genre were they considered more competent in prior to this series' release? Is it A, magical girl, B, mecha, C, harem, or D, isekai?
I'm trying to. Oh no, this feels like anime show history 101. I feel like I should know this, but I don't. I obviously don't. I'm gonna.
You can think about the designs in the show might get you there.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I'm gonna go with isekai because saying the designs feels. I feel like there is some sort of phantom connection between this and Inuyasha, but I could be wrong.
It's a miss, but
Damn.
does the show not open exactly like an isekai?
Yeah.
It does.
I got hit by a car saving a child and got transported to the spirit world, and the king of hell is a baby?
Yeah. Damn. I am just. Wow, I'm a big old goose egg today.
I saw some faces in the chat that made it seem like there might be a steal here.
Can I steal and guess harem?
Oh, you're wrong.
Oh,
I
no,
think
okay.
Jacqueline's going to sweep in.
I was watching this and I was like, some of these people look like Gundam people, so I'm gonna guess mecha.
It's Magical Girl, y'all. They made shoujo
really?
anime.
Oh,
Yeah, look at like the eyes and the hair. They made
Yeah.
they were very well known for shoujo in the shoujo community.
Okay.
The producers were like, we got to get a shonen anime in here so we can start making money. YuYu Hakusho.
That makes
Got it.
sense.
and they changed the history of anime forever.
Somebody does get an energy sword, so we know that.
Yeah.
There's a mecha connection.
You know,
There's a mecha connection.
there is mecha connections, but there is a lot of energy fingers and stuff happening. So yeah,
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
valid. All right, I see it.
Okay, Max,
Anyway.
somehow you ended up with both the voice acting questions here. Because I got another voice acting question for you. The Funimation ADR director for this series, Justin Cook, reportedly went above and beyond to help the cast find the characterization for their roles. In what way did he exceed expectations? A. He had them measured and fitted for costumes that the characters really wore in the show. B. He flew in the original voice cast from Japan to talk about their character inspirations. C. He read all the bonus and side chapters of the manga and told the actors about the plots so that they could use that in their character development. Or D. He got in the booth with them and did all the moves.
These are all great. I kind of wish all of them were true.
Yeah.
I want this to be true so bad that I'm gonna guess A, costumes.
Oh, it's not the costumes.
Okay. Too bad. Should have done that.
Right.
Stevie, you're trailing in points. Do you have a guess for this?
Yeah, I'll guess. I'll say that he flew the original Japanese cast.
Ooh, another miss. Jacqueline, you can get
You're
one more point and
kidding!
clean this up if you want.
I think he did the moves along with them, right?
He read all the bonus manga.
Oh.
He went in there and he read all the stuff that they did not get converted into anime because he was like really into it, like as a fan.
That's really sweet. That's really
That's
cool.
though. That's cool.
Especially in
Good
that
old fucking
era
nerd.
of voice
Yeah.
acting.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, according to my calculations, we're ending on a tie, which means I get to pull my tiebreaker out.
Ooh.
And so this is a question
Exciting.
for Jacqueline and Max.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to do here, I do not have multiple choice for this. So when I read this out, I'm going to ask both of you for an answer, when you're ready, and we'll see who gets it correct. The show's voice cast was notoriously fluid, with many actors taking up the reins of each character across the life of the franchise. What famous video game voice actor, known for his role in stealth action games, was the voice of Kurama in the first movie?
No way.
What's his fucking name?
I'm so stressed.
I believe I know it.
Oh my god.
Jacqueline, where are you at?
I can't. I don't remember his name, but I could give a very specific description. I think.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's hear it.
Is it the is it what's his name? The guy from Metal Gear Solid Snake?
And Max, what was your guess?
Is it David Hayter?
Yes, both of you
There
are
we go.
correct. It was David.
Nice.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Who was unceremoniously replaced by
I'll never give it up. Kiefer Sutherland,
Kiefer Sutherland, some idiot.
Metal Gear
Wait,
Solid
hold
5, never forget.
What?
Yeah, they hired Kiefer Sutherland to play Snake in Metal Gear Solid 5 for some reason.
Because of fucking dumbass, lame ass, propaganda ass 24. That stupid fucking show. I said it with my whole fucking I'm back,
It's
bitch.
true.
I
It's
said
true.
it with
You
my
should
whole
say it.
fucking chest.
I'm on your
Oh my
side here,
God.
Stevie. I'm just as mad.
That fucking federal fucking masturbatory fucking show, Kiefer Sutherland's 24 on Fox.
David Hayter.
God.
Oh, can't wait to stumble into
Ew.
this big anti-war game.
David Hayter could be
God.
Mr. 24. I don't know the 24 guy's name.
It's Mr. 24. You got it.
Mr. 24. That's all the respect it deserves, Mr. 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keith Sutherland should have stayed in Lost Boys and Flatliners where he could shine instead of
Yes.
instead of moving on.
Yes.
Lost Boys is so good. What a good movie.
That was his one jewel in his whole crown, and everything else but that was a fucking flop. I don't give a fuck. Keith Sutherland, I said with my whole chest. Let me get famous. I'll say it to your fucking face.
Damn. We're airing out the dirty laundry on this episode of Anime Club.
Anime Club's official rival.
Kiefer Sutherland, you're on the list.
Watch out. We're coming for you.
We got your number, Keith.
I heard somebody say once, this is the last thing before I move on. I heard somebody say once that Keith is like a stoner rewards program. This is the first time we've had a tie winner that didn't get broken by the tie break. I don't know what to do about that. I think I'm comfortable saying that Jacqueline and Max are both the winners this week.
Yep, we're digitally
Good
shaking hands across, and the confetti's falling.
Yes.
Wahoo!
Good job.
Okay.
Wahoo. And now we're going to move on and talk about anime. But first, I got to tell you about what happened in that anime because we watched episodes 1 and 2 of Max Kostrak's Vanity Pick YuYu Hakusho, and this is what happened. Episode 1, Surprised to be Dead, opens the way all great stories do with the main character's death. It was already a pretty bad day for Yusuke. He's not welcome anywhere he goes, it seems. At school, at home, he even gets accosted by bullies on the street. And after kicking Kuwabara's ass for the 156th time, he meets the soccer ball kid who would change everything. Back in real time, he meets someone else too, the Shinigami Botan, who explains that because of his good deed, nobody really knows whether Yusuke should be in heaven or hell. She offers him a one-time only resurrection if he participates in a trial. Our boy chooses to stay dead, though, until he visits his own wake and sees what a wreck his death causes for the people closest to him. Soon he calls on Botan to reverse his decision, and they're off to the spirit world. Episode 2, Koenma appears, introduces us to, well, Koenma, the potty-trained baby prince of hell, who hands Yusuke an egg to take care of for a little bit. The vibes he give off will turn the egg into a spirit beast. Bad vibes mean the beast eats him. Good vibes mean the beast helps him return to life. Step 1, though, is to find his corpse and make sure it doesn't get cremated. He visits all his loved ones to try and transmit this message, but the only solution is to possess Kuwabara and drive him around like a stolen monster truck. After all of Kuwabara's enemies decide to settle their scores, Yusuke only has 5 minutes left to convince Keiko he needs her help. It works somehow, and Keiko reunites with Yusuke's mom, who breaks the good news. Her son is already alive again. And that's where we leave the first episode.
I think what I like about Yu Yu Hakusho, these first two episodes, we get right to it. We get right to the point.
Yes.
Yu Yu
Here's the
Hakusho
plot.
wastes no fucking time. Here we go. You got it.
Indeed.
This kid is dead. Like, most of that first episode is just, the whole day leading up to that opening moment
Yes.
where Yusuke is hit by the car. So it's like, but it was very much like, here you go, because I don't think I've seen episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho, but I do not think I had ever actually seen the first episode.
Same. 100%
I
same.
definitely sat down with my chili and I was like, chill. And I had my cornbread and I was like, hold on. We just killing kids? Like, the first
Right off the bat?
Yeah.
nearly ruined my couch. My couch is yellow. Okay. The chili was red. I nearly got it everywhere.
Oh,
I was
no.
shocked.
No.
It's fine. I got all my pants. It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry,
It's
Steve.
okay. No, it's okay. I mean, they're washable. The couch is harder to wash. It's also washable. It's harder to wash. It's no problem.
Just a little
Couch didn't get
anime
anything on it.
mess.
Just a little animus. Just a little animus.
We all do
No,
it.
it was great.
Real quick,
Yes.
Jacqueline, what is your relationship with Yu Yu Hakusho?
Yeah, you selected Yu Yu Hakusho when I was asking people what show they wanted to
yeah.
come on a guest for.
Okay.
Yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho, I don't have a big history with the anime, but I do with the manga, because I was a Shonen Jump monthly, I think, subscriber when I was younger. So it's not like I read all of it in sequence, but it stands out the most as like just like the thing I would pick up in the magazine. And I was like, they're doing a game show this week, I guess. And I loved it. I love it so much.
Oh my gosh. Jacqueline coming up in here, the OG, the absolute, just like the hard school of hard knocks, but not really just otaku life. I'm here for it. I appreciate this.
That Shonen Jump history.
Yes.
Stevie, you had mentioned something that we really get into the plot immediately, and I found that so interesting because the energy I was bringing to this is somebody who has just finished binging like almost 100 episodes of this anime. I finished the Dark Tournament arc. I'm into the next one. I'm very far into this and loving it. And these episodes we're going to watch, actually, I feel like are not going to get to the core of the... It's a little bit like when we watched Sailor Moon, where it was good, it was entertaining, there was fun stuff, but we didn't meet the full cast yet. And so it feels strange. We're getting to the plot, but there's so much more that's yet to come.
But from the opening title sequence, it looks like we're meeting like 2/3 of our main cast, even more than 2/3, because I think at the end of it, we're only missing like 2 or 3 people out of like the opening title slides that we don't
That's
see,
true,
even just from these first 2 episodes. However, we don't get a lot of fleshed out information about Keiko. We have some, but you can tell what she's for.
Yes.
You know what she's there for. So she ain't gonna be not shit, which is a bit of a bummer, but I mean, she is. Look, she's not gonna be
That's
not
how it
shit.
is. We gotta look clear-eyed at this stuff, you know?
Look, she gonna be not shit, okay? She's crying in her sleep and everything. She feeling tears getting wiped off her face. We know what Keiko's about, all right? She can smack hard, but that's about all she's about to be. She's about to be, slim fast Bulma, and I'm not here for it, but it's okay. I'll live.
God.
So true.
It's okay. It's okay. So anyway, we meet most of them. So it's interesting to hear you say that. It's still going to take us a while to get to the plot. When we've got like half of the characters done already. Because when we saw Sailor Moon, we only got 3 Sailor Scouts. Well, there's like 8 of them.
That's very true. I think it's just when I look at the opening, like, we'll talk about the opening too, which is amazing.
Oh, incredible!
But the opening so clearly like highlights these big 4, the fighters, these 4 members of the cast who are going to really, and not until a couple arcs in, comprise like the main fighting force,
right?
And to not get any glimpse of Hiei or Kurama in there is just very interesting. Like, oh, look at all these fun characters we will someday get to interact with.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's right, Kurama. That.
Yes, Mr. Rose.
Yes. Mr. Rose, yes.
Our fancy anime boy.
Right, our useful tuxedo mask. I was gone for 7 days. No. I'm locked and loaded.
Here we go.
These faces at me like, oh my God. She better get sick again, I swear to fuck. No.
We do get Kuwabara though. And being very, very deep into the anime, Kuwabara there's a very special little room in my heart where Kuwabara lives. He is an incredible character.
He's great. I love him already. Yeah.
Cinnamon roll.
And his voice.
Yeah. Togashi knows how to write just like a goofball punk, and Kuwabara is so lovable. Even though he's also kind of a dirtbag, it's just great.
Kuwabara is like everything that I like in this type of character. And especially when we learn that he is like especially sensitive to ghosts. I think that's just a wonderful thing. He reminds me of, do y'all know the Travel Channel reality program Ghost Adventures?
I've heard of it, but I'm not seen it.
He's like a Zach Bagans type, you know?
Yeah. He is. He's got some of that same energy. And he's got the tickle, which is very important as part of that. The ability to sense ghosts and be chased by scary ladies in his dreams.
It's really interesting to me that you, Max, say that this is like there's not like a lot in this, because one of my first notes here is that like there is some genuinely touching and emotionally effective writing and storytelling in this first episode where like
absolutely, yeah,
we kind of do It's a Wonderful Life in like the second
that's exactly
half of
what
this
we're
episode.
doing, and we're stretching it over several episodes. Sorry, I did not mean that not a lot happens here. I very much meant that in the same, like, very much just I'm missing two of the boys. Is really just I think the actual comment I wanted to lay out here is there's two boys that we still need and we don't have them.
It's so fair.
I will say when it comes to getting your audience immediately up to speed with like what the immediate crisis is, the sense of urgency and like all that stuff, and not in a bad way. Yu Yu Hakusho is not designed to do that, but it does not do that as opposed to like Gundam Wing, where at the same time Gundam Wing has been a series that's been running at this point when Gundam Wing dropped for at least 5 to 10 years at this point, because like Gundam Wing was not the first in that franchise. So like,
oh no, oh goodness,
you know, so people who are coming into it, they got to explain to you the stakes and the key players, because those have been the same stakes and key players for like 3 or 4 different series, right? As opposed to Yu Yu Hakusho, which is like you got to care about these motherfuckers right now. So like that's not the structure, but I feel you when you say that, because like when we watched Gundam Wing, we got all 5 of the boys in like the first like 10 minutes, so it was like.
Yeah, they really want to
a lot of
introduce
boys.
those guys.
There's so many boys. It's just boys. I like not Lizzo. Okay. Anyway.
I think
thank you.
Yeah, I think what this does. I think. Sorry, I think what this gets to so well, even though it doesn't get to all the characters very fast, it gets to Yusuke specifically so fast.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the traditional structure of this, like you might see, would just be like, okay, we see his entire day, and then plot twist at the very end. Oh, he gets hit by the car. But I think the fact that the very first thing you see in the show is him saving the kid, that's like immediate great characterization, because then you'll see him. Yeah, you'll see the secondary thing, which is that he's a kind of a jerk, but
it puts all that in context, in a very different context.
Right.
If we'd seen him as a punk from the beginning and then as a hero, it'd be very different.
You know, I would have been on this podcast immediately going, well, you know what? I don't know why he's the main character. Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. Yes.
Fuck them kids.
Like,
why did he do this?
Kids. God damn it. Fuck them kids. I would have absolutely been on here like that. But what I am now, man, my notes, oh, well, it comes up in episode 2, but my notes were like, oh, no, it was episode 1. When Yusuke was like, oh, it doesn't matter that I'm dead. I'm going to just stay a ghost. That's cool. I don't need my body back. I was like, wow, textbook depressed, are we? Damn, son. Like, your mama's a whole alcoholic. Because I was right. I was like, why is this kid so bad? You find out he's a middle schooler.
Yeah,
and he's got the reputation he's got. 1, he's already fighting, but 2, like grown up adults are scared of this kid. Like, how you 13? How many people have died by your hand? Or that like, sound like me, like stabbing kids in math class and stuff. Yes, I did do that. I did actually stab a girl.
Oh my god!
In the 4th grade, I'm bad at math. She made fun of me. There was a lot of personal stuff going on, but this was back in the day when you thought that lead pencils were made of lead.
Yeah,
so
it would really hurt.
Really thought.
Give them
I'm going to fill you full of lead, and then you pull out a pencil.
I mean, it was man. I got her right here. I got her between the little bones.
It's still there to this day, I bet.
I don't know that. I don't remember that girl's name. Why? She's going to hear this podcast and be like, I never forgot.
This grudge is not running particularly deep, as it turns out.
Anyway, but anyhow, all that to say, this kid has a huge reputation, like known for being bad, all this other stuff. So we're like, so it makes you go, well, damn, why he saved this kid if he's apparently such a horrible person? Or you're saying he's really not that bad. Y'all don't know. Y'all obviously are a system or, you know what, an environment that he's in that doesn't ask about him as a person. Because then we see that his home life kind of sucks. His mom doesn't seem to care about him. It seems like she might have a drinking problem. Like
seems like
some really intense shit with his mom, by the way. Like way more intense than I thought was going to be in for.
I was like, oh, the mental shit is genetic. Got it.
And I gotta hand it to Meredith McCoy, the voice actress who plays Atsuko. I mean, there's like I mentioned, there's some heavy shit in these first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
She does an incredible job, and so does Chris Sabat as Kuwabara. Like literally, like the fact that he is dead is not like a joke. In this, like he is dead, and that is huge for the people in his life.
He's dead and he's ready to go to hell.
Yeah, well,
or just to hang out. No, he's ready to just hang out and be a ghost. He's ready to be able to do whatever the fuck he wants. But then it was like, you can go to hell and get eaten and it'll be horrible and you can get eaten for the rest of your life. He was like, I'm 13. Can we please like turn that the fuck back? Okay? Like, he was like, I'm a minor.
There's this great scene where Botan is explaining to him that like, we don't know whether you should go to heaven or hell. And that's kind of what's going on here, because you actually made things worse for the kid is the funniest. That is like so hilarious to me. Like
that twist.
The kid,
So funny.
According to Botan, who knows everything,
Right?
the driver would have swerved and avoided the child, which means that the scrapes and bruises that the child got from Yusuke pushing him out of the way are actually worse than what the child would have suffered if Yusuke had not gotten involved at all.
Can we step into the Botan zone though? Can we step into the Botan zone?
Okay.
Because Botan
Opening
is
the door.
the best.
I love
Botan's the
Botan.
best.
Yeah, I do.
Botan. Can we talk about how Botan just casually just steps on the neck of Urameshi this entire episode?
Yeah.
Like
She doesn't let him get away
she
with anything.
casually just cuts this boy off at the knees constantly. I was like, damn, she does not miss. She's like, you want to see? I know you're already a dead body, but you want to see another one? That's Botan. All the time. She's so good. She's so good.
The line in episode 2 when she's like, he for a second he's like, oh, it's too much, I don't care anymore, and she's just immediately there with the, oh, look at my impression of Yusuke, I'm burning.
So funny.
She's great. And okay, this brings me to another note that I had, which is that I'm not used to this. In a lot of modern anime, the subtitle and the dub are very close. Like we translate, we tend to, in the modern paradigm, translate for understanding, for context, rather than like just literal translation.
Mm-hmm.
That was not the case when this came out. I had these subtitles on. They are very different from what the characters in the dub are saying. And I think the way that the genius thing that's been done here is that certain lines have been transcribed to give you the same vibe as they would have given a Japanese listener listening in Japanese. So like there are times when Yusuke is saying shit like, well, you're an ugly motherfucker and I don't care. But that's not what he said. Like he's saying something that's relevant to the scene. Like he's actually answering somebody when they ask him a question. Like the teachers in the like mugging scene. He actually answers the guy's question. Whereas in the English version, he's like, well, you're ugly and you shouldn't talk. And I think it's supposed to illustrate like the fact that in Japanese, there's a lot more variance in terms of like formality and what's polite and how you conjugate your verbs and everything. And so instead of just translating him being like kind of shitty, they like just lived. So what would a shithead kid say in America? Basically?
Yeah, I think this is the difference between true like one-to-one translation and localization. Actually bringing something into the cultural context of what is being said.
Yes, 100%.
It happens a lot in this show. Very cool
I like it though. Like it's so good to see because it helps you because I personally feel like when it comes to like I keep comparing other animes, but thankfully because we've done this so many and we have a lot of
arrows in the quiver for that.
We really do. And it's also they're so varied in the way that they were dubbed and that they were subbed and that they were localized. And it's actually really cool to be able to see this difference between these shows that we honestly we're going to see in a 10-year period, which honestly is actually really close together. There was a lot of shows in that short amount of time that came over to the States. So anyway, all that to say, it's a difference between like Tenchi, for example, and Yu Yu Hakusho, because I feel like Tenchi did a lot, or even the Deke dub. Let me get even more general. The Deke dub of Sailor Moon, where it was just like they edited local editing aside, that was localized. Local editing aside,
very different perspective on localization.
Very different perspective. Versus like that actual like dubbing versus Yu Yu Hakusho, where it's like they just trying to get the point across. They're trying to move the plot along in Sailor Moon. They're trying to make sure you know what the fuck's going on because they are simplifying it, for the audience. Whereas Yu Yu Hakusho is like, we're not simplifying it. We're gonna make sure that all of the same beats are there. We're gonna make sure that like the same, all of the characterization and the story itself, as original as we can, comes all the way over, you know? Like, that's what I think is really cool about that. Because
what's most important is how you feel as the viewer.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, thank you.
Did you get the vibe of these characters right? I think is important. Coming back to like the voice acting thing with Justin Cook, like bringing in like, you have to embody these characters. Here's all the shit that they do.
Yeah, here are all the things
Mhm.
that we're not going to cover, but that are still important for you to know, because there is important stuff in the bonus chapters. Like,
Yeah, it's the full context of the character.
they can be like the
Yeah.
most fun chapters in the whole thing, and you don't like.
Right.
That's why I don't like to. This is a small soapbox. That's why I don't like to get on the. I used to be very like anti-filler when I was younger watching anime, but now it's like that's character moments. Like, this is important stuff. This is like history.
Yeah.
It matters to the characterization. So sure that it's not always the most fun to watch. Sometimes it's bad, but you're still getting character moments. Still
Yeah.
learning.
I would also say that sometimes I like good fillers better than bad fillers, and that I feel like there's a
sure.
big distinction because, like, for example, Naruto actually had some pretty good fillers, mostly because all of those fillers happened within the world, in my personal opinion. So, like, for example, in the first like season or whatever of the first Naruto before Shippuden, the little kids had like the newspaper business or whatever, the newspaper thing, and like they would interview people in the town, and then it actually wound up coming full circle, and it wound up becoming like a plot thing in like Shippuden later. And I was like, okay, see, that's
Yeah.
cool. Like, I
Yeah.
like it when that happens, and like one off, like the rabbit goes on an adventure, and like it's like it never comes up again. It doesn't really exist in the world. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't like that because that's a waste of my motherfucking time, and I could be doing anything else, like sleeping. Yes. So yes, some filler is good.
Absolutely. I
Filler's
think
important.
a blanket statement, any blanket statement on filler like that, you're bound to get in trouble because
Yeah.
anime is different from manga. It's an adaptation, and these
Yes.
liberties are going to be taken, and obviously
Yes.
there's the whole timing issue to be dealt with. So I feel
Right.
like filler is a land of contrasts.
That's valid. That's valid.
I have a note that I want to share with you all,
Please.
and I just don't know what to say about it, and I don't know how to explain it. But there's something kind of Simpsons about Kuwabara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That is an apt comparison.
That's really deep.
I don't know. There's like the way they draw him, the way they animate him. Like, there is something very.
There is. You're right.
don't know how
You said it, and it immediately it shot me through the heart. I was like,
Yeah.
I have to sit back and think about this.
He's kind of like Sideshow
Yeah.
Bob a little bit.
Yeah.
No! Yeah.
Everyone in Yu Yu Hakusho is on like level 2 cartoon. Kuwabara is like on level 4 of a cartoon character. He's just more of a cartoon character per cartoon character.
100%. The legendary
Oh,
Chris
man.
Sabat. I mean, enough cannot be said about how
So
tremendous he
good.
does in this.
Yeah.
What a voice
Yeah.
for Kuwabara.
Right.
I love it. Like, I never, not one time in watching so many episodes of this did I ever get tired of Kuwabara
No.
being on
No.
screen.
No.
The magic of Kuwabara talking like Yasuke, talking like Kuwabara. Yusuke
Dude,
talking like
oh my
Kuwabara.
God.
Yes.
Talking like Yusuke, talking like
In
Kuwabara.
episode 2, the
Yeah.
ability this isn't some, body swap plot from season 6. Episode
Yeah.
2, you're this character, but you're possessed by this character. Go.
Well, okay, so I have to imagine it helps that the guy who plays Urameshi is the voice director. So, like,
Right.
Justin
Yeah.
Cook was
Yeah,
there to
that's right.
say, this is how Yusuke would say it. So
Yeah,
give me
it's
your
true.
Kuwabara impression of that.
Speaking of Kuwabara
Amazing.
impressions, does anyone have like a pocket Kuwabara impression? Just like
No
pull in
way.
the room.
I could not do it.
Please, please, please.
Why are you
please,
asking?
Please.
I don't know.
Please,
It's
please,
fun.
please, Newland, please, Newland, please.
Urameshi, they didn't
That's not bad.
they didn't have any chocolate milk at the cafeteria.
Oh,
Very good. Thank you.
It goes directly into your reel right now. It goes directly into your reel. I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
It goes
Sure.
directly into your reel.
Thanks for that tee up.
It's so good.
Of course.
Can we enter into a new character zone? Because there's
Oh,
one
yes.
I really, really want to talk about,
Yeah.
and it is Koenma. This character, to preview a little bit into the future, is going to be... You're going to see a lot of this baby.
Yes. This is
This
the one
baby very
kid.
much takes the audience role once they get into big fights.
Okay.
So good. This is the one baby who does not get a fuck them kids. Baby's
Yeah.
great.
Okay. Wow.
That
Wow,
baby's great.
that's meaningful, Stevie.
That
I'm really
baby-
surprised.
Yes,
You
'cause
carved
that
out a little
baby-
exception.
Yes, because that baby grown.
He's royalty. He is
baby
over
grown.
100 years old.
Yes.
The
Like a
only
turtle.
time, the
Grown.
only acceptable use of child who is actually 100 years old.
Yes. Because you know what? When you find out how old that baby is, you're like, oh, your daddy still won't let you have a cigar. You're too young for a cigar, but you've seen stuff. Like, these are the kinds of kids I like. Them number 5 ass motherfuckers who are like, fuck you. I'm older than you. I just age better than you. And that's
Stevie,
why
have
you're
you
mad.
seen Hunter x Hunter?
No, I have not. That's why I got that
Man.
answer wrong. I don't know Hunter x Hunter.
I think you would like Hunter x Hunter.
Oh no. Why are you saying it like that?
Oh, the main characters of Hunter x Hunter. That's why.
And
Got it.
same author here. So my
Yeah.
plan is actually I'm going to finish Yu Yu Hakusho and then move
Okay.
directly into Hunter x Hunter because I've only
Got
seen
it.
pieces of it.
It's
Got it.
it's so good.
It's incredible.
If
TV
it, if it is an extension of what Yu Yu Hakusho is able to do with its fights and its lore and its
Oh my
characters, and that is how I understand it, then I am like extremely hyped to get there because
Yes.
we're not going to get too deep into it in these 6 episodes, but the way they run fights in this, like the big like arc ending fights in this
Mhm.
series, is more people should be copying it, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Well, look, I gotta admit, maybe this knowledge was like buried deep in my brain, but I didn't realize this crossover was happening. I didn't know that this is the same author that we're talking about for
Yeah.
both these shows, and like it's kind of incredible because, so I only have my first impression of Yu Yu Hakusho, which is extremely good. Like this is like some of the most fun I've had watching anime in a long time, which is crazy because I don't know. It just feels insane that I missed this boat.
That's how I felt. This is why I went through 70 plus episodes of this
because
like,
it's just
I
that
feel
good
over the course of a
It's-
couple of weeks.
It's
is
kind of
because I was like,
unbelievable.
how did I
Yes.
ever miss this?
Yeah.
And Hunter x Hunter is one of my favorites, like all time.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
I know people go wild over it, so I'm so excited.
There is a like thoroughness and a thoughtfulness and a like intelligence in the storytelling in Hunter x Hunter that comes through really, really strongly. And I'm already seeing some of it here, like the plot about needing to save Yusuke's corpse from cremation because he has to hatch an egg on it. But first of all, the here's an egg to take care of, which is like, I don't know if they do that in Japan, but that's like classic middle school, high school home ec class
Yeah.
in America.
Did you ever have to do that, Jacqueline? Take care of an egg?
Yes. I definitely took care of
I
an
didn't get
egg.
this project.
Now,
We
see,
all-
when I was in middle school, they had robot babies that they handed out to us, and the baby
Oh.
would cry, and you would have to take
No.
like a little
Yes.
key and insert it in the baby's back, and you had to hold it there for a given amount of
Oh,
time
yeah.
to like simulate that some babies need attention more than others.
No,
Yes, I did. We had those in school. Yes, they
Weird
had
shit.
the ones that the babies who cry. I did not do home ec. I was not. I would have drowned it.
Yeah. We had
So
it for
unfit to mother.
we had it for a biology class. We didn't have we weren't a school with the money for for robot babies, but we did have customizable eggs. And I've locked this memory, like just like people draw on them with Sharpie and stuff. And I do remember just like
Yeah.
the day before it was due, everyone was so nervous. Like, oh God, I don't want to drop my egg in the hallway before class.
Oh God,
You're right
Yeah.
up to the finish line. Please don't kill this baby.
Yes.
baby, this unfertilized baby.
I only ever had to do an egg drop, which feels like if you put it in the context of taking care of a baby is pretty rough.
Like, wait, an egg drop. That's
Like in
not
ramen?
the thing.
That's a very different project. It's a physics
Wait,
project where you have
I
to
was like,
Yeah.
isn't that science?
drop the egg
Hold
off
on.
a building and make sure it doesn't break. But we didn't
Ah.
have to pretend the egg was a baby.
I was like, this feels very indicative of all three of us. This is actually quite funny because you're like egg, but also robot baby. You're like physics, and I'm like PE egg run.
Oh, with the
spoon and
spoon.
egg race.
Yeah, the spoon and egg race. I'm thinking like.
I
crackers
love
and
spoon and egg
egg.
race.
It just That was very
All those
interesting.
cool games we
That's
played
okay.
before PlayStation.
Wheelbarrow races. I still love wheelbarrow races. I think they're quite fun.
Stick and hoop.
Man, stick and hoop. Wow.
How the hell that shit is.
I actually know how to play that game. My grandmother lived in a very poor part of Eastern Kentucky.
Whoa.
So,
All right.
yeah.
I didn't even know we were going to go there today. Wow. That's what you learn when you're in anime club.
I mean, hey, at least 3 of us are from the Appalachians.
That's true.
This is true.
Jacqueline, are you
Yeah.
from Kentucky or the Virginias?
I'm from Oklahoma.
What?
Sorry. It's different slightly.
That's pretty
Much
damn country,
flatter
though.
than
Yeah.
the
Much
Appalachian.
Yeah.
Than the Appalachians. So, but still, yes.
It's like
Anyway.
smoothed out.
Flat Kentucky.
Flat
Can
Kentucky.
can I pull out my sorry. Um,
Got him.
Can I pull out the big Newland? I knew you always cover the voice acting stuff. I want to talk
Sure.
a little language for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I want to drop in here is I love Koenma simply for his name, which does just translate to Baby King of Hell. Enma is equal to Yama, so any DBZ fans, those are the same. It's the same set of characters and everything. And Ko is just child, so it's Child King of Hell. He has the symbol on his hat that is King, and then Junior underneath it, which
Yes.
is
God.
in English is JR, which is
JR.
very, very funny. The other language thing here, though, that was really interesting was the episode title. So,
yes.
episode 1 is Surprised to be Dead. That one is actually pretty accurate. The second one is just shortened to Koenma Appears. But
Yes.
the Japanese title, you can see it on the screen, it's very DBZ style. It's 2 sentences, or it's like 2
Oh.
phrases. And it's Koenma of the Spirit World, Trial of Resurrection, is like how I would translate that.
Wow.
Which is
So
very
interesting.
Dragon Ball Z, like the 1 line,
Yes.
2 line. And I'm wondering if, and I'm gonna do this as we move into 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, if that pattern continues.
Yeah.
And that is what we're looking at.
I am just looking at them right now on Wikipedia, and
Yes?
it appears that there is a difference between the American translators were like, let's just cut these in half. For many
Interesting.
Huh.
There could be many programming reasons for that too.
Sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, it's a lot to put on the TV guide.
Yes.
That's true.
On the note that I wrote, oh no, this was I was just, okay, this one I did not realize I wrote, and I thought that I was coming in hot today. No, I've been spicy since yesterday. My bad.
Ooh.
I said, nice to see that Yu Yu Hakusho was dealing with non-consensual possession before WW84.
Oh,
Wonder
That's
84.
right.
Oh, God.
Before Wonder
Oh, I didn't
before
see that
Wonder
one.
84. Well, that's essentially what happens. It's non-consensual body possession for
Yucky.
essentially 2 hours. Yeah, it's a thing. It's bad. And then unfortunately, sorry, I like the action in Wonder Woman 84. The story was really meh. And I really felt as though Kristen Wiig and Kristen Wiig's what is it? Not Cheetah. Yeah, Cheetah. Cheetah? Yeah. Cheetah deserved a way better origin story for the film franchise than she got. So like that's all. That was my thing.
I didn't know they were
But-
putting Kristen Wiig in superhero movies.
Yes, it is.
Good for
yes,
her.
It's Kristen. Yes, it's Kristen. Yes, it's Kristen Wiig. It's Kristen Wiig. So essentially, yeah, spoilers, but essentially what it is, Chris Pine died. Gal Gadot's immortal, and the only thing she wants is for Chris Pine to be undead. So essentially, she puts his spirit into some random dude's body, and then it's Chris Pine for a while. But the actual good subplot is Pedro Pascal is an immigrant, and he just wants to achieve the American dream, and he's the one who becomes the supervillain, but he does the monkey's paw situation. So you actually care a lot more about Pedro Pascal, and you're like, he's not even in the movie.
You always do.
I mean, yeah,
I mean,
it's
like,
a
come
given.
on.
he
You
just
cannot.
invites that.
He's our daddy. Pedro Pascal told us that he's our daddy.
Can I say,
so
I did watch that first episode of Last of Us. I have not played the video game, so I have no attachment here.
I've seen some
Pedro
of it.
Pascal gives me the vibe of like my cool uncle. So it is
yeah.
weird to me to see him in the context of like a serious man who's like dangerous or whatever. Like,
Okay.
I've not watched it, but I cannot imagine him in that role.
he just seems like a cool guy, you know?
No, hold on. Did you not see The Mandalorian? Because
No,
he's
I
very
didn't
much
see
that vibe in The Mandalorian. He's
I
very
really
much
have
that
only
vibe.
He
in
is,
The
but he's behind a
Mandalorian.
mask for 95% of it. So it is a very different vibe. When he takes it off, they manage, I think, to do a pretty good job with it. But like, look at him in interviews and stuff. He's very much, I think, as
He
Newland
seems
has
like a
described
sweetheart,
him.
you know?
He's
He's a
really
big
nice guy.
sweetheart uncle.
He
Yes.
seems like he would give me a GameCube at my high school graduation, you know?
He absolutely would. 100%. Very cool. I do love that like, I don't know if it's a TikTok sound or if it's just like that one Instagram reel where he like looks down the camera and he's like, yeah, he's a daddy, but I'm your daddy. Yeah.
He knows what to
I'm
do
your
with,
daddy. And I'm like,
with that
"Oh, you
platform, you know what I'm saying?
Daddy. He's so great. No, I do. I love Pedro Pascal. Before you said cool uncle, I had a minute. I was like, Game of Thrones. I was like, no, that's cool uncle behavior.
Oh shit!
Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is yeah.
That is like, hey kid, let me tell you a story. When I was younger, I used to be an actor. You know.
To bring this back around to Yu Yu Hakusho, we do know that there is a live action version of Yu Yu Hakusho in the works right now.
Oh yes, I heard about that.
Who would Pedro Pascal play in this live action version?
Koenma.
Easy.
Yeah,
Really? And he's a CGI baby, or
No.
No. It's just
no.
They do the Hobbit like sort of camera trick with him behind the desk. No.
Pedro
Okay,
Pascal,
I'm getting nose.
regular size baby hat, and he doesn't suck the pacifier. He chews it. He chews it like the butt of a cigar. He just chews the pacifier the whole time. It's
I'll
one of those
watch
plastic
this.
ones, those silicone ones. He just chews it all the time, and every once in a while he'll pop it out of his mouth like it's a bubble, like a bubble gum, and then he just like reforms into the shape of a pacifier, and then he just like chews it back in like it's a piece of gum. He's always working. It's like that. Also, he was in the first season of Narcos. Also the same vibes as Last of Us.
I'm looking at the production stills of this live action Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh no. How does it look?
Man,
I've only ever seen the little teaser poster they put out with the finger gun, which we haven't even got to in the show yet.
No, we haven't even gotten to the finger gun.
finger gun.
It's pretty sad. All of these young men are very beautiful, and that's fine. But
it's very sad. All of these young men are very beautiful.
Yeah.
well, you know what I mean. Like
Wow.
you look at Kuwabara,
misandry.
okay? Like you
Yeah.
tell me that's a face that's going to go into modeling. You know
I-
what I'm saying? Like he's a very unique looking guy. He's very obviously drawn to be.
You should
that
get a
way.
real weirdo for that role.
Yeah.
100%.
Kuwabara is the original handsome Squidward. Be nice.
Yes.
Wow.
I think even
Am I
getting
wrong?
You're right. I think even getting a straight up handsome guy for Yusuke is kind of wrong. Like I think he has to be like he has to be a little bit rough and like kind of like there's a squartness about him that
Yeah, it's true.
yeah.
They're punks, right? I think that
Yeah.
especially as we get into some of these later episodes, the fact that they are middle school punks is a defining aspect of these characters.
Yeah.
Right. I feel
This is
like
the ultimate,
I feel
like-
like Yusuke has to be like squirty. Like he's a kid that like would get mad if you called him squirt. Like that's
Yes.
the kind
Yeah.
of vibe.
Elric
he
vibes,
is.
Edward Elric vibes.
What if middle school like gangsters basically
Yes.
fought hell? It's like it's really it's so good like to take these characters and to put them into a like life and death
Yes.
energy spirit world battle setting.
It's kind of
Okay.
like
It just
when-
works.
It's kind of like
Yeah,
when
it
Ryan
does.
Johnson made the movie Brick, and it was just what if film noir happened in a high school.
Right.
I forgot about Brick.
If y'all haven't seen
my
Brick, it
God.
fucking
I have-
kicks ass.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm writing this one down.
There's a scene
Yeah.
where the main character gets called into the vice principal's office to be told that he's a loose cannon and that he needs to cool his jets. Like it's really fucking great. And the
Incredible.
script, if you didn't know this was, if you couldn't see that this was high school students with your eyeballs, you would read the script and be like, "Oh, this is a hard-boiled detective story."
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Before we wrap,
should-
I have
Oh, are we gonna not talk about Keiko? We can. I
we
know
have to talk about Keiko for a minute
We have to
because
talk about
I feel
Keiko.
like we have to acknowledge every time this happens. There are a couple of moments in these first two episodes that made me go,
No, thank you.
I literally, and this is the physical reaction I have every time this happens in anime. I like just sort of sadly like whisper at the side of my mouth, "Don't do that. Like, don't make it that way." And it is Yusuke. The first one is he lifts up Keiko's skirt, and this is like his weird flirty bullying thing that he's doing. And the second one is much worse, where he's driving the Kuwabara rental car, which he has beat up and banged into several different brick walls. And like, so this beat up, bloody, bruised monster. Stranger. Thank you. That's the most important aspect here. Stranger is like, I know how to get this girl's attention. I will sneak up on her and grope her.
Yeah.
And that will get her to recognize me. And it works.
And it does. It works. That's the most fucked up part.
He probably could have just talked to her and she would have been like, I'm Yusuke. And she would have been like, oh, you're Yusuke, considering how she reacts.
She does. She specifically calls out, the way you talk, I know it's you. He didn't need to do that first part.
No. And also because she was the first person who was obviously readily accepting of seeing signs from him.
Right.
For the last scene that we just saw with her being asleep. And then like, he's like, I'm going to grope her. That's the thing. And I was just like, the only recourse for that is that anytime he tried it, it was immediate retaliation. However, there was no apology. Therefore, nobody was going to learn a lesson there. However, I hated that for her.
You hate to see it.
I also,
Yeah,
I hated that for her, and I also hated that that's like the most character development we're gonna get out of that gal.
Yeah,
because she deserves more. Because she's obviously clever.
We will get more further down the road. Keiko is not a one-off character. We are going to see more of her deep into the show.
Oh, that's good.
Is she more than a cheerleader? Because she's definitely in the cheerleader position right now.
Spoiler zone a little bit. She doesn't like develop psychic powers. She's not one of the main fighters, but she gets more involved than but she's a cheerleader. Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She's on the sidelines.
Right. Yeah,
she does some funny and cool and interesting things, but it's very much a cheerleader situation.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's the 90s.
Is it? Is it, Stevie?
It's not anymore. Fine. It's the 90s.
Yeah.
It's not fine at all.
It's a resigned fine. It's fine.
Truly, to be black on Maine, it's a truly deep Negro sigh on this first day of Black History Month, but it's fine.
Thank you for bringing that in.
You're welcome.
It's true. We got to get more cultured on this show. But last note that I have, this music, you guys, is like some of the best music I've ever heard in an anime.
It's so good.
I was crazy into Tenchi's soundtrack. This is like coming up easy second for me. Like some of this stuff.
It's amazing.
This opening theme is so funky. The slap
I never
bass,
skipped it.
They somehow managed to the one instance of we translated and dubbed the opening and it's still just as good, if not maybe better.
Yes.
It's so good.
It grows on me too. Like the more I listened to it, I was like, oh my God, this is actually like, it's extremely relevant to the show. It's a banger. And it got me in the mood for this show. I loved it.
So this was the one thing I remembered from Yu Hakusho.
You said core memory on Discord.
Well, yeah, I'm truly, my mom has called me a walking radio my whole life, but like that thing came on, I was like, like that. I mean, it was the Raven Simone gif, just like that's so Raven eyeball. Like I was just like, oh, I remember this. Like it was just a whole core memory was unlocked.
Wow.
I was jamming on that couch. I was jamming. It was so good. Yes, both of these, and they're bops.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Yeah.
Like a good mashup between R&B and city pop. If you don't get out of my face. Like God, it's thicker than a snicker. I'm telling you, it's so good. It's so good.
And this extends to the incidental music also, like just the songs that are playing over the course of the episode. I got to download this stuff. I mean, you're going to hear some of it as you're listening to the podcast, but like this is really, really good. Like on a level that we have not heard on this show in a minute.
No. What? You didn't like that you could see that you were a pioneer?
I didn't like that. I know y'all like that, but I did not like that one. It grew on me by the end, but no.
Kostrack, lean back.
Not a fan.
And then, hey, listen, you know, like Full Metal Alchemist brought some heat too last week. But wow, good. This is like right in that period of time that I'm so fascinated with. That like late 80s, early 90s music in Japan, really good stuff.
Yes, I told you that The Weeknd stole Midnight Pretenders, right?
What?
Not stole. He obviously had to pay money for it. But there's a song called Midnight Pretenders, which is also the song Out of Time on. So essentially, Out of Time on The Weeknd's most recent album is literally Midnight Pretender. Like same key and everything. Same key and everything. Obviously must have had to pay for it, duh. For it to not get RIAA'd. But it's same key and everything. It's just.
Are you talking about Midnight Pretenders by Miss Uja?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure. Huh. It's the same one.
Good track.
It's really good. And yeah, if you go and you listen to Out of Time, it's the exact same song.
Well, you know, sampling is I gotta imagine if you're getting sampled a lot, that's a pretty good sign for your music.
Has anybody noticed that we are so old that the stuff that we grew up with is now being sampled? Because I hear it a lot and it hurts me.
Okay, I got that feeling for the first time when I heard that song that sampled the fucking Numa Numa song that was like top 40 in the US. Kostrack, you didn't know about this?
No, I don't listen to anything top anything. I listen to fucking anime soundtracks.
I'm showing my ass here.
Last week. You did so good last week. I was along with you. You were right a lot. I was proud of you because I was like, because when Newland said Band for Life, I said, oh, Kostrack's not going to do well. And then
he never does, but he pulled it out.
Somehow you managed to hit the realm where I was listening to anime music videos, I think is actually what you did.
It was so good. I was like, oh my God, Kostrack is blowing through. Anyway,
this was a Rihanna song that came out about a decade ago called Live Your Life.
Yes.
Okay, so sorry, it's a T.I. song featuring Rihanna, but they literally sampled Dragosta Dinte, better known as the Numa Numa song in it, which made me feel like I was really losing it.
The one that gives me the biggest get off my lawn energy is I think it's a David Guetta song, the I'm Good, because it's literally Eiffel 65's Blue.
No.
Yeah.
And this is and it's the same key and everything. And it's literally like instead of I'm blue da boo dee da boo die, it's like I'm good.
BB Rexa.
Oh, I've heard that.
I'm like, no, that song is about depression. Don't you try to make that shit happy.
It's literally the opposite.
It's literally the opposite.
How dare you?
I have a blue house with a blue window. Blue is the color above that I wear. Yeah, I had that album. What?
You might find yourself. This is not my beautiful blue house. This is not my beautiful.
My beautiful blue wife.
That's the days going by.
Oh, Avatar, yeah.
Yeah. Do we have anything more to say about YuYu Hakusho? What have we missed?
No, I'm just ready. I'm just so excited to watch more of it.
Jacqueline, you sound like you were saying something.
What do you have?
I blubbered I've seen this first episode 4 or 5 times. I blubbered like a baby for the first time on this watch. I
was crying. I was legitimately crying. Like it got me.
Yeah.
When Kuwabara busts into the funeral and he's like, "You asshole!" Like that got me. I had seen one scene with this guy.
Yeah.
That's how strong his characterization is.
Yeah.
Kuwabara, like I said, in my heart.
Yes. I was just like that. And then his mom, like nothing breaks me down more than like a parent getting stuff. That was, and then the principal.
Was
like,
the principal.
Yes.
Mr. Takanaka.
I think he's the Dragon Ball narrator.
His name is Bryce. Oh, I forget his last name. But he's the narrator. He also voiced Captain Ginyu for a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Weird moment.
I just want to call out how Jacqueline is the true scholar. It's true scholar. You just knew that. You were like, this is the devil.
He just sounds like him. The 2 voice picks I got in this were, the principal sounds like the Dragon Ball narrator, and the mean teacher sounds like the conductor from Bakano. Those are the two calls I
Whoa.
got.
That's so
That's a
specific.
poll.
Oh my god.
I watched
Can you
recently.
guys guess who Justin Cook, Yusuke Urameshi's voice actor, played in Dragon Ball Z? It's a side character. I would say like 3rd degree side character. Very important in the beginning of the show, but then
okay.
nowhere.
I know
No
it, so I
idea.
won't say.
Is Raditz, Goku's brother.
That's right.
Oh,
Raditz.
Raditz?
Yeah.
I read this and I was like, I just saw this.
Now,
What
I know
was
he
it?
also
Yes.
plays Kirishima in,
that's his
in
big
My
role right
Hero,
now.
which is a great role. But
Mhm.
man, Raditz.
He's very talented, Justin Cook. I
He's
think.
done a lot too. Especially
Yes.
he's produced a lot too. He's
Yes.
done a lot.
Yeah.
He's brought a lot of stuff over.
Incredible voice cast in this. Can't say it enough. Like,
Yes.
Atsuko, Yusuke's mom, that's Android 18, folks.
Yes. She's
That's why
Nice.
her voice sounded so familiar.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
She delivers some good lines in this episode too, and she's
She really
like
does.
a strong. Like, wouldn't a strong man not get killed by a car? I'm butchering the line, but oh my
Yeah.
god,
I genuinely, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Good.
I was
Okay.
there for her. Like, I can imagine this hitting very differently if you're 14 versus like as a
Yeah.
32-year-old watching this and being like fully in mom's shoes rather than Yusuke's. To be honest, like
Yeah.
watching her go through this is like horrifying in the way that I think they wanted it to be.
Because
Mhm.
it's like because we didn't see her between him coming home from school when he
No.
wasn't supposed to be at school and then this moment.
Yes.
So when you see her not in funeral clothes, you see her looking like she didn't move from that spot and everything's happened around her. Like she just happened to be regain consciousness and was like, oh, I'm at awake now. Because she's been stuck on the whole concept of my son is dead for probably 24 hours. That's wild. It's just like,
very real grief. Yeah,
Yes.
it did not
Yes.
pull any punches.
No.
no. Ooh.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
They got power out of that. They
The
really
one
did.
that really got me was Keiko because Keiko was talking to them girls and the girls had all those rumors and she was like, he doesn't have a lot of friends. And they were like, "Woo." And she didn't get to explain that she was his only friend. And so when
Yeah.
she's like upset the wake, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Truly.
I really
Yeah.
hope they continue. This gave me so much confidence. Like, I'm so confident. The writing in this is so sharp. The characterization is great. I cannot wait for more Yu Yu Hakusho. Max,
Mhm.
I'm so glad you decided to make us watch this show.
Yes.
I'm glad I've watched so much of it, and I plan to just go back and pick up where I left off. Probably tomorrow.
Proud of
This
you.
has got me back in the zone.
Let's go. I love it.
That bell means this week's meeting of the Afterschool Anime Club has come to a close. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you, and if you'd like to follow us online, you can at Anime Club Pod. I'm on Twitter at MaxNewland_. Mr. Kostrak, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter. That's it. At Max_attacks.
Ba-boom. And Stevie, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram under the handle ASmattering on both platforms.
Jacqueline Swampert, remind us one last time. What do you do on Moonshot? What kind of works do you have that you want our audience to find?
Well, you can find my Percy Jackson reread podcast over at Unwise Girls. You can find the slasher rewatch podcast I'm part of at Dead Teen House Party. A reminder that we are coming out with a new season soon, so that's going to be
Whoop,
super
whoop.
exciting.
Yes.
And if you just want to find me, you can find me at Swampert on Tumblr.
No new reviews since last time, but the perennial rule is in effect. If you leave us a 5-star review and it passes muster, I'll read it out loud. And maybe I'll do it in my Kurama voice next time. Kuwabara. Sorry, that's different.
Extra motivation.
Now, I know that Kuwabara is kind of a chicken head, but you can't have any of that chicken-headed shit in there.
If you can leave a review as Kuwabara, but no chicken-headed shit, you're gonna have a good time.
That's truly a review that passes and cuts the mustard.
Whoa.
You said muster, not mustard.
Well, we can have both. We can have it both ways.
Thanks.
To me, that's amore. And again, we're so glad we got to spend this time with you. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Hey, Jane.
Hey, Jacqueline.
What do you think the most significant YA book series like the 2000s to the 2010s is?
Oh, definitely The Hunger Games.
No, I mean like
Twilight, that's the best
No,
one.
no, I'm talking about the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan.
I've not heard of those. If I wanted to listen to a funny podcast about those, what would you suggest?
Well, I would recommend Unwise Girls, which you and I host. This is a podcast where we reread, analyze, and frequently joke about the books of the Rick Riordan verse, and we see why people call these the best young adult magical series of the 2000s.
And we always take time to declare which characters are canonically, factually not cishet, because Rick Riordan is not the boss of us.
Listen to Unwise Girls every Friday, wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by the Moonshot Network.